So whatever is showing up out in your life, use that as a mirror, as an opportunity to look back within yourself to say, hey, what's going on in here? So let's talk about 5 steps to boost self-worth, self-esteem, and your ability to express yourself. The first step is to develop an ability to tell the truth. And telling the truth is telling the truth to myself, you telling the truth to yourself about what's showing up in your life, what's going on, not what do you hope and who's to blame and what's the story, but what's the truth? What is showing up in your life? What results have you produced? If I'm a fly on the wall and I came and sat in your living room, what would I see? Who are you and what is going on? And can you tell the truth to yourself objectively about what is showing up consistently in your life? And then the next part of that is to grow and mature your ability to speak truthfully to other people. What if you and I can get ourselves to a place where we no longer need to be defensive? What if we can be non-defensive? What if we can drop our sword and drop our shield because we've built such a solid golden shaft of light within ourselves that we know our self-worth, we're confident in who we are and what we're up to, we have esteem for ourselves, and we feel good about expressing ourselves in an authentic, honest manner. And for a lot of us, telling the truth starts with telling the truth about our feelings. I mean, if you're like me, like a man growing up here in the United States, I spent my whole childhood and teenage years and beyond learning that as a man, I'm supposed to shut down my feelings. I'm supposed to numb myself out. I'm just supposed to seize the day and hustle culture and make things happen regardless of how I feel. Just deny my feelings, varnish over them, and power through. So a very important step on this journey to telling the truth to yourself, telling the truth to others, is how are you feeling? Can you even identify how you're feeling? For some of us, I know for me, it was a lot of work to be able to feel my feelings, to be able to identify them, and to be able to articulate them to other people, to be able to articulate them to myself. Can you learn to express that to yourself and to others? Step number 2 is to bring your internal story out to the light of day. All of us have a story going on, a story about early childhood and who we are and what we believe and what's possible for us, what's not possible for us, and what our limitations are and what expectations there are out in the world. Can you identify the story that's quietly in the back of your head running your life, telling you who you are, what you deserve, what you don't deserve, what you're worthy of, what you're not worthy of? I know for myself that I learned subtly from my dad a phrase which is, I'm a piece of shite, something close to that. And my dad never taught that to me. I just observed my dad. He kind of had that running in the background of his mind, and he might not have even been aware of it. It's like, I'm a worthless piece of shite, was running in the back of his head, and maybe my father's father had the same conversation going. My father's mother, I don't know, but I know that was running my dad, and subtly I picked up that same conversation from my dad, and it was programmed into me, or I adopted it, which is something kids do from their parents. They adopt parents' patterns and beliefs. And that was running me. It's like, I'm not really worthy. I don't deserve. I have to suffer. I have to struggle. Do you have any kind of stories like that going on? And whatever your personal story is, the work is to identify the story that's in the back of your head or even in your face every morning, you know, during those quiet times when that voice is whispering to you things that make you feel angst or fear or worry. What is the quiet whisper in the back of your mind whispering to you? That's the story that's running you, and that's a story that's controlling you. And so the work is to bring your story to the light of day and not just varnish over it and pretend it's cool, and I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna work out hard, I'm gonna get myself in shape, and I'm gonna hustle, and I'm gonna make money, and maybe all that's good, but can you not use that as a smokescreen? Can you not use that to numb yourself out? Can you decide, I'm no longer gonna numb myself out to my story, I'm gonna actually bring my story in front of me and look at it and tell the truth about it to myself. One thing I've discovered along my own personal journey is the more loving I am out into the world, the more loving the world is back to me. Strangers on the street, friends, family, it doesn't matter. It's like whatever I'm giving out is what I'm getting back. And another thing I've learned is that I can't love anyone. I can't love you. I can't love the stranger in the street. I can't love people in my own family. I can't love my wife any more or to any higher level than to the extent at which I've learned to love myself. And it sounds cliche, but it's super powerful. The world is my mirror. The world is your mirror. Whatever you're seeing out there is a reflection of what's in here. Let me say that again, and this is a useful, important perspective. It's whatever is showing up out in your life, whatever you're seeing going on with other people, use that as a mirror, as an opportunity to look back within yourself to say, hey, what's going on in here? And while I can't change anyone out there, I can't change the politics or those people or what other people think or say or do, what I can change is what's in my own heart. I can clear out, I can heal the emotional baggage I've been carrying along with me for so many decades. I can begin to heal that in an ongoing weekly way. In order to love yourself, you have to first learn to accept yourself exactly the way that you are and exactly the way that you are not. Self-love is all about self-acceptance. This is the way I am. This is the way I'm not. Especially if you want to change yourself, if you want to grow, the first thing you need to do is to learn to accept yourself just the way you are. It's like if you're out backpacking out in the woods, in order to figure out how to get to destination B, you have to first acknowledge, you have to first know where it is you're standing right now. So first you need to accept that this is where I am in the journey of my life. This is who I am, this is who I'm not. Yes, I'd like to be that person over there. This is my goal for myself, is to grow into that person, to be that person. But first, I'm going to allow and accept and acknowledge and tell the truth about this is who I am right now. Step number 3 is learning the distinction between what's in it for me, what do I get, and being a person of service. I've only stepped into this for myself in the last several years, just figuring it out. It's like, wow, I don't have to spend my life worrying about what's in it for me. I don't have to spend my life worrying about my own survival. Seems like so far I've done really well at my own survival, but can I now shift my focus? Can I now shift my attention to be a man of service? And that's what I'm doing here in front of this camera. I wake up every day and I attempt to see how can I step into, how can I grow into becoming more of a man of service. How can I serve you? How can I serve other people? What do you have inside you right now that you can give as a gift to someone else? And that leads into step 4, which is, what are you naturally passionate about? If you have free time, if you have a whole weekend or even a whole week of absolute free time, what is it that you're passionate about? What do you gravitate towards? What do you automatically find yourself doing whenever you get the chance to do it? That's what you're passionate about. I mean, as a young child, to a certain extent, all I could do was survive, follow the rules of my parents, do whatever I was told by the adults around me. But as I grew up into an adult, eventually I gained the freedom to make my own choices, to tell myself the truth about how I'm feeling for myself. I didn't need to have the adults tell me anymore how to think and feel. I didn't need to have the kids in high school tell me any more about how to think and feel. Eventually, I grew into being able to tell the truth for myself about what's true for me. What do I love? What am I passionate about? What is it that I'm here on this planet to do that wants to flow through me? You have immense value to give. You are already enough. You came here to this planet to share great gifts with other people. There is a message for the world that only you can deliver. And so that leads to step number 5, which is to lean into the future version of yourself. Who you are today is a sum total of everything you have thought and done in the past. But right now, even though you don't know it, what you're thinking and doing is you stepping forward into the future version of yourself. Your future version of yourself is actually pulling you forward from this moment. What is your positive vision for your future higher self? Imagine who your future higher self is that you're stepping into today. Journal about the future self that you're growing into. This is a powerful exercise. If you can journal every day or several times a week, this is the future self that I am growing myself into. This is who I am becoming. This is who I am being right now. This is who I've stepped into this morning. What small steps can you take today to grow into this next higher version of yourself? Who are you becoming? Again, shift the focus away from what about me and what will I get, and begin to focus on how can I become more of a person of service? What can you give to others today? So how will you grow yourself today to become an even greater person of service so that A, you will inspire yourself, and B, you can inspire other people around you? So those are 5 key steps to expanding your own personal sense of worth for yourself, growing your sense of self-esteem, and also opening up your ability, your freedom to freely express yourself. And those 5 steps are telling the truth to yourself and to others, bringing your own internal story out to the light of day, shifting your focus from what's in it for me to how can I be more of a person of service, becoming more and more clear about what am I naturally passionate about, what's flowing through me, and consciously continue to be pulled forth by your future higher version of yourself. I hope you found these 5 steps useful. Would love to hear from you in the comments. Hit the subscribe button and the like button. Talk to you guys soon.